Have you ever wondered how crucial compliance-based assessments are in the realm of penetration testing? To fully appreciate this, let's first understand what penetration testing is. It's a simulated cyber attack against a system to check for vulnerabilities that could be exploited by hackers. Now, where does compliance-based assessment fit in? It's a method of evaluating whether a system adheres to a set of specified security standards or regulations. So why is it important? Consider this. In a world that's increasingly digital, data breaches are becoming more common and more costly. By conducting compliance-based assessments, organizations can identify and fix vulnerabilities, reducing the risk of data breaches. This not only protects sensitive information, but also helps avoid hefty fines associated with non-compliance. Moreover, these assessments foster trust among clients and stakeholders, affirming that their data is in safe hands. As you can see, compliance-based assessments are an integral part of penetration testing. Now let's examine a real-world case to better understand the value of compliance-based assessments in penetration testing. Consider the case of TechSecure, a mid-sized technology company that prides itself on its robust cybersecurity measures. However, TechSecure found itself in a precarious situation a few years ago. Despite having a dedicated in-house cybersecurity team, they were experiencing recurring security breaches. Their systems were suffering from vulnerabilities that were not being identified in their regular security audits. It was a perplexing problem that needed a sophisticated solution. Recognizing the need for a more comprehensive approach, TechSecure decided to implement compliance-based assessments in their penetration testing process. This was a step beyond their traditional vulnerability assessments, which focus primarily on discovering security flaws. Compliance-based assessments, on the other hand, would not only identify vulnerabilities, but also ensure that their security measures were in line with industry standards and regulations. The process began with a thorough review of their existing security measures against the required compliance standards. This was a crucial step as it laid the groundwork for the subsequent penetration testing. The review revealed that while TechSecure had robust security measures in place, they were not fully compliant with some of the industry standards. This was a potential root cause of their recurring security breaches. Armed with this knowledge, TechSecure's cybersecurity team then conducted an exhaustive penetration test. The test simulated attacks on their systems to identify vulnerabilities and assess their impact. The team also evaluated how well the security measures complied with the identified standards. It was a rigorous process that required meticulous attention to detail. The outcomes of the compliance-based assessment were enlightening. TechSecure discovered several previously unknown vulnerabilities in their systems. More importantly, they identified areas where their security measures were not in compliance with the required standards. This was the missing piece of the puzzle that had been causing their recurring security issues. Post-assessment, TechSecure took immediate action to address the identified vulnerabilities and non-compliant areas. They implemented additional security measures, updated their policies, and conducted regular training for their staff. The result was a significant reduction in security breaches and a more resilient cybersecurity framework. In the wake of the assessment, TechSecure also realized the importance of continuous compliance monitoring. To maintain their improved security posture, they now regularly conduct compliance-based assessments as part of their penetration testing process. This proactive approach has not only strengthened their cybersecurity, but also ensured that they are always in line with industry standards and regulations. This case study of TechSecure provides a compelling example of how compliance-based assessments can enhance penetration testing. It highlights the importance of not just identifying vulnerabilities, but also ensuring that security measures are compliant with industry standards. In the ever-evolving landscape of cybersecurity, staying compliant is just as crucial as being secure. This case study clearly demonstrates the significance of compliance-based assessments in penetration testing. You might be wondering, what exactly does a compliance-based assessment in penetration testing entail? Well, imagine it as a well-defined journey with a clear roadmap. Our first step in this journey is understanding the scope. This involves identifying the systems, networks, and applications that need to be assessed. It's critical to clarify what is included and what is not, to avoid any confusion or mishaps down the line. Next, we move on to the phase of planning and preparation. This is where we gather all necessary information about the target system and its environment. We might use tools like Nmap for network scanning or OpenVAS for vulnerability assessment. It's akin to getting to know the landscape before we set out on our expedition. After our groundwork is complete, we embark on the exciting part, the actual penetration testing. This involves exploiting identified vulnerabilities to see how far an attacker could get. It's a bit like trying to break into your own house to check how secure it is. The tools and techniques employed at this stage can vary widely, from manual methods like SQL injection to automated tools like Metasploit. The final step is reporting and remediation. This involves documenting the vulnerabilities found, the potential impact, and the recommended fixes. It's crucial to communicate these findings effectively, as they will guide the remediation efforts. Think of it as giving a detailed account of the journey, including the pitfalls and how to avoid them in the future. Throughout this process, the goal is always to assess compliance with certain standards, like the payment card industry, Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, or the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. These standards provide a benchmark for what good security looks like, helping organizations to tighten their defenses. And that, in a nutshell, is the process of carrying out a compliance-based assessment in penetration testing. So, what have we learned about compliance-based assessments in penetration testing? Well, first off, we've come to understand the pivotal role they play in cybersecurity. They give us a framework to evaluate and strengthen the security of an organization, ensuring we meet legal and industry standards. Then, we dissected the process of carrying out these assessments. It's not about poking around in the dark. It's a methodical approach that involves identifying vulnerabilities, testing them, and then taking steps to rectify any weaknesses found. We also delved into a real-world case study that showed how these assessments can bring tangible benefits. It underscored the value of having a compliance-based assessment in place, not just to tick the boxes, but to genuinely enhance an organization's security posture. Remember, compliance-based assessments are not just a nice-to-have in penetration testing. They are an essential part of ensuring your cybersecurity practices are up to scratch.